Welcome back. Go green is terminology that we are coming across more and more frequently as the world tries to address the issues around environmental sustainability. In Hinduism, nature is considered to be a manifestation of the divine and is to be revered as such. Our 21st century lifestyles have compromised the health of our planet, and serious adjustments are needed on our part to reverse these disastrous effects. Joining me now for a Go Green discussion is Akira Ramdin from the youth wing of the South African Hindu Maha Sabha and Go Green activist Subendran Mudli. Hi guys, and welcome to Sadhana.
Thank you so much for having us here.
So you guys are chatting to us about Go Green. It's almost become a buzzword this year. Why? Why has it become such a big phenomenon?
I think if you look at the term Go Green, the two words that make up the word Go Green, it has a very deep meaning. I mean, if you look at the show we're on now, Sadhana, it directly links with that because Sadhana means purification of our internal pollutants. So if you look at all of these external pollutants out there, whether it's land pollution, water pollution, it's only a reflection of our internal pollutants within us, right? So until we sort out what is within us, then that will resonate out, and then we find a much more pure environment on the outside. So yeah, so basically that is what Go Green actually means. And when we look at Go Green, green basically means something that's evergreen, something that's youthful or unchangeable. So when you say Mother Earth is this green planet, you mean that Mother Earth is this evergreen planet that cannot change, but due to our actions, Mother Earth is no more in this evergreen, ever youthful state, but now getting grey and old with pollution, right? So for instance, if all these trees that we see around is like Mother Earth's hair, deforestation, what we do is like us shaving a bald, right? So every time we plant a tree, it's almost as if we're implanting hair back on Mother Earth's scalp. So Go Green is like the sort of anti-aging treatment that we're implementing on Mother Earth.
The rishis and sages used to perform their rituals, their Hindu rituals and their Hindu traditions in a very natural environment. They lived in nature. We, living in a very capitalist era, no longer do that. And we have almost made it sort of compulsory that we have to perform rituals a certain way with X, Y, and Z. But scripture doesn't dictate that. So do you believe we've gone further from scripture than what our scripture requires us to do?
I think so. I feel that in our scriptures, we're not asked to do much. I mean, just offer water, offer flowers, fruit, as long as you're doing it with love. That's all that's asked from us. So I feel that we go too much and we want to give God a whole lot of flowers and so many sweetmeats and all these fancy things. But at the end of the day, one flower is fine as long as you give it with love. Yeah.
Subendran, I know you've got a very spiritual outlook on, for example, things like respecting nature.
Yes.
Tell us more about it.
So this started like very recently, like a year back when my own Go Green journey began, or maybe began in this lifetime. We never know what's in our Karna, right? But basically, we started off this whole tree planting process, and we came across this one tree, which I did bring here. It's called a spekboom, right? Or SB for short, right? So this is a very, very unique plant that I thought maybe I should discuss. So it lives for 200 years, right? So that teaches us perseverance, right? It brings up all the water from the water table so other plants around it can live better. Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never is there, right? Other things as such, it's one of the few plants in the whole world that can photosynthesize day and night, right? So we should be 24 hours, 365 devotees of God and serving all the time, just like spekboom. These are just a few things that we can learn from just a tree, right? So yeah, during our Go Green journey, there's a lot of wisdom that will come to us, same like how it came to the ancient rishis of India, because they went green.
It's fascinating. It's amazing that one plant can do so much, but it also speaks to how vital it is for our life. And if we don't take care of our environment, then we really are asking for trouble. I have to ask, why do you believe the Go Green movement has become so big now? Do you believe that we've reached a turning point? Have we reached a point where we actually cannot reverse the effects of what we've done in the past? Or do you think we are heading that way, and that's why it's so important that we take these responsible actions now and try and make a difference now?
There is so much of pollution going on at the moment. Johannesburg is one of the most polluted cities at the moment, and it's not all that bad right now. That's not good either, but it's going to be disastrous soon. So while we can save, we should save right now and, you know, try and protect our earth and sustain it. Otherwise, our future generations are not going to enjoy it as much as we did.
And also us as well, because there's no guarantee that we are taking moksha in this birth, right? So we're going to be coming back again and again and again, and we don't want to come back onto our earth where we have no oxygen to breathe. So going green now is like the sort of investment that we're putting forward for our future lives to come, for our own spiritual growth until we get liberation.
Speaking of that investment, how as individuals in everyday life, for example, a homeowner, a worker, someone who is perhaps in business and who is very busy and very consumed all the time, perhaps they've heard this Go Green thing, but they've never actually taken much notice of it. How can they actively become a part of the Go Green movement without it disrupting their lifestyle?
So, okay, I feel the Spekboom plant is beyond amazing. It's a plant that doesn't need too much of care. That's one way. I see other communities, I've noticed, are having things such as meatless Mondays, where it's just like one day a week where you just eat proper veg, and apparently it's saving quite a lot. And you know, it's just bringing more vegetables into your diet and eating more healthily. That's, you know, those small changes. And yeah.
Makes a big difference. Do you have anything to add? Any other tips that you know of?
Well, start with the Spekboom, as Sister said, because it grows by slips, so it's very, very easy to grow. You know, just pop them in the ground. You don't even have to take care of it.
You just need a leaf of it,
just
and it
a
grows.
leaf of it can grow, right? And I mean, if you look at the spiritual understanding of it, Brahman, God himself in the Vedas, Brah means expansion, Man means consciousness. So Spekboom is this expansion of consciousness because it propagates so easy, but not for itself, for the benefit of the world, right? So that's one, planting of trees, right? Number two, you can do cleanups, right? If I got a market down the road, right? I got a choice. Do I take the car there or do I walk there? What's more healthy for me? Walking. What's more healthy for the planet? Walking. Choosing that orange over that chips. What's more healthy for me? The orange. What's healthy for the planet? The orange.
Fascinating, and thank you so much for sharing all those tips, that advice, and I certainly hope more people take up the Go Green cause.
Thank you so much for having us today.
It's our pleasure. Stay with us, there's lots more in store.